Truth Man here, Truth Man Short. So listen, I want to play. Coach Greg is live right now, and I intended to talk about this, so I want to play something that he just said. Take a listen to this.
But for men, you think, what do we need to do to stop this? What did I tell you? You guys are about 10, 15, 20 years behind. The shit's out of control. Now, who are the people she's nominating? Normally going to be white men. I actually looked this up. White men are highly likely to participate in this, and it's older white men, right? So white men that are wealthy, 50s, 60s, 70s, they have reach to resources. They have unlimited resources.
All right, I'm gonna pause it. Fair use, y'all. Fair use. So I'm gonna play it again, but then I'm gonna give you the title of this video, and we're gonna talk about something that he's gonna mention.
These men are also more likely to be married than single, right? So they're doing it and they have a whole wife. And these men are probably high value men. High value men, meaning they're high level
I'm just
earners.
driving, y'all. I'm
They're in
play
suburbs.
Fair
They
use,
got country
Coach
club
Greg.
memberships and shit like this. They got money to burn. And also, who's also most likely to do this on the woman's side? Young women, 20, 30, into their 40s. Right? And so this is a kink. You know, that what they'll do is they'll also want to be physically dominated to a point. Now, again, I'm not here to reserve any judgment, nor am I here to save it. I'm an elder in this space. Dude, y'all cook. You're cooked because you're too busy trying to control where men doing shit, and it's too late, right? It's too late, guys. And they can do this from their phone. They just got to get to the right community of men. And sometimes they have to even possibly get into some sex work. Even acknowledge, oh, it's kind of sex work. Oh, it is. Because they're also not telling you. Sometimes these men have the kinks where in order to get this started, they actually have to get into sex work first, right? They have to get into some sort of sugar baby first, right? You got to put hands. Sometimes these men want to be slapped and peed on and walked on high heels on their back. They have to cross that line first. And then once they do, it's on. Then she can milk the guy. And he feels like, don't milk my credit card again. You made me max out my credit card. Yep, they want to get dookied on. So women are finding these avenues, and they're finding less social stigma related to it at this point in our world. Maybe the world changes in 30, 40 years or 20 years. You can hope for
the sake of my grandkids.
But of course, these are also women that you would not even recognize them in public. See, that is the other.
Yeah.
That is the other problem you have.
And this is what I be saying. Like, they be acting conceited in public, and in private they be doing all the stuff that he's talking about. And I know because, like, on Facebook, I've been propositioned to pay for some cat. I ain't gonna even lie to you. And I was looking at it like, I looked at it like this. It's weird how this particular chick is selling the cat, but she actually looks better than the ones that be on there that had trauma just destroyed, like, in their lives. Talking about, I need a man to do this, I need a man. Sound like an auctioneer. Let's go back to it, then I'm gonna get into the video. It's gonna be Isaiah 4:1.
That ain't gonna help you, right?
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not gonna help you. I know we had the 12 cents of Christmas. It's not gonna help you. All right, these men got more money than you actually probably make in a motherfucking year. They make in a week. Do they care about them simping? No, they have their kink. All right, they have it. Yeah. Right, that shit ain't gonna help you calling them simps. You ain't even in the neighborhood they're in. So it's not going to help calling names again. What? Remember when I said this? You want to control the men. You think that's how you're going to do it? I'm going to control the men. I'm going to shame the men. It ain't gonna, guys. It's not going to happen. They don't give a fuck about what you. By the way, they don't even know you calling them a simp. Right? They don't even know. Am I giving you the God's honest truth right now? I'm trying to help men. Because you guys still got content creators still trying to think that this is going to stop people. Look at Travis Hunter. Is it stopping him?
No.
The whole world calling him a simp. Yeah. And he double, triple, quadruple down.
Benzino simp, so.
He could care less. Okay? But what you have to understand is first, before you can control the women, you got to understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you got to know what they're doing. You got to at least know. And press the one in the chat if God's honest truth. You never heard of Femdom. Press the one in the chat if you never heard of it. Guys, there's women that, hold on for a second, just so you can see here. There's women that are doing it, and there's women that are teaching women how to do it, and there's women that want to know how to do it. You niggas don't even know what you're dealing with.
Shira 7 is teaching Femdom.
Right. You don't even know what you're dealing with. There's layers and levels of.
Shira 7 is teaching Femdom. If you don't know what Femdom is, it stands for feminine domination, for short. And if y'all know, the average red pill guy like myself, like Coach Greg, like Dr. BOA, is teaching you how to deal with Femdom. They teaching you how to deal with it. They teach you how to combat it, so on and so forth, right? Because you got the Benzinos and the Travis Hunters and to a certain extent Shannon Sharp and all these other people. And like when y'all heard me make the statement, like, don't let these celebrities bring their philosophy over here. When in the mind of No Matrix, I was thinking of Femdom and how they believe in it. They like that stuff. That's their frame of life, man. And they trying to bring it over here. Ocho Cinco probably do to a certain extent. Like, how would he go begging back to somebody that done dumped him like that and dissing him? Treating him like he ain't nobody. That man is known around the world. You know, you don't act like a celebrity is better than you, but you don't treat them like they nobody either. That's like if I saw Michael Jackson when he was alive and was like, man, that dude ain't nobody, man. I could dance like him. Let's go back to it. Then I'm gonna get into Isaiah 4:1, where I'm going with this.
Levels to this shit. All right, here we go right here. This is a guy. He says, bring back the 90s. Here we go right there. See, this is what.
You know why people saying that? I enjoy every waking moment of anything 80s and 90s, whether I'm watching a wrestling match, whether I'm watching a movie. Like, remember Career Opportunities with Jennifer Connelly and the other dude, I forgot his name. I enjoy every waking moment of that because that was a different time. But we got to accept the time we live in and just try to make the best of it. But let me finish this so I can get into my commentary.
Men are ill-equipped for this battle.
Yeah.
You're not right. I just want to live in a normal world again. Take me back to. It looks like take me back to the 90s. This is why men. This is how goofy you sound. You're cooked.
Gotcha, bitch.
You guys are cooked. You're trying to go back. That's your solution.
It's gonna be a bunch of guys that ain't gonna never have kids. Never, because they're gonna be trying to balance what we say in the red pill with reality. And then some of the rest of them gonna have kids, but they gonna have kids with women that practically ain't gonna never let them see them. They gonna be getting in fights and stuff with other dudes. These little jail dudes gonna be with they women. And trust me, from a dude that worked in jails, them dudes don't care. Like, they don't care about going to jail. They don't care. Like, you want to avoid them type. You want to avoid them because some of us are productive out here. We don't have time to be sitting up in the jail cell. And the best way you're going to avoid the jail cell, especially living in cities like Milwaukee, is to just kind of try to limit your interactions and being even in the same room, same building as these type of pokey Ray bum, think he tough because he hang with a bunch of dudes and got a couple guns type of ninjas. Let's go back so we can get going.
Go back to the 90s. It's not going to happen. I don't have all my sound effects. People are lost. Maybe AI needs to destroy us so we can start over. See, people don't have no solutions. They don't know what to do. Why? Because they've been feigning ignorance for so long that they're not on that side of the world. This guy says, I've fallen victim of this to my wife. Right there. And look at how many people liked it. I said this earlier.
That's a lot
Most
of
people that are in Findom are married. Their wife is doing Findom to them.
Yeah.
So this isn't just about sex work and shit like this. A lot of guys that are like this are married.
So come,
and their
this
wife
was the
is
point
the
I want y'all to
Findom.
hear. Listen.
Oh, honey, they got to ask the wife. Sometimes they bring in way more than the wife. They got to ask the wife, can I buy a new barbecue grill? That's Findom.
And that's where I want to conclude. That is Coach Greg Adams of the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. I'm sure a lot of you already know him. But I want to talk about this femdom stuff and domination in general from an Isaiah 4:1 perspective. Listen, femdom is one of the reasons why Isaiah 4:1 is going to come to pass. Like, all of this stuff going to subside. This is like a storm. It's going to subside. But unfortunately, like, you probably going to be an old man on a cane like this. And it'll probably be your great grandkids that finally see, like, women in the way they should be. Because when Isaiah 4:1 really start hitting, it's like women going to have to compete just to even have a man. And the cost of living is going to be so high that it's going to take teams of people. And this coming from the prophet. It's going to take teams of people to even do somewhat well. So this is where men had an advantage over women. I'm 50 years old and I can do everything. I can bench press more now than I could when I was 23. But I guarantee you with women, it be in the reverse. Like, they be getting weaker over the years. So let's get into it. Isaiah 4:1 says, in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we'll eat our own food, wear our own clothes, only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. What disgrace are they talking about? The disgrace is femdom. Trying to dominate men. Pagan men, all this old other stuff they do because they want to be men. That masculinity is going to die down, and it's going to be a bunch of dudes that if they even see traces of masculinity, they're going to block you. They're not going to call you. They're not going to deal with you. So, and this is the information age. So if you think you're going to sneak and sell the cat and not tell them, hey, listen, I ain't going to lie to you. I was selling the cootie cat. I was selling my cootie cat. And then he'd be like, well, listen, are you still selling it? Or he could be like, okay, well, we had fun tonight. I'm getting tired. I guess I'll go home and watch me some Netflix. I want to come with you. Can I come with you? Nah, no thanks. Because a lot of dudes don't want to choke. Look, man, look. If I got to choke you, something is wrong with you. Because trust me, I can make you feel good. But if you need, like, let me turn around. This dude looking all in my face, gonna pull up on the side. If you need me to do all of that, like I saw another one on Facebook. She says, I thought I was gonna be able to get choked with some Christmas lights or something. Man, I am not going there with these chicks, and then they get mad at you, and now they want to say, he did this, he did that. I'm not going there with y'all. That's not sex. That's fighting. That's abuse. some guys be like, well, that to you. Okay, well, to each his own, man. If you want to choke these women, that's you, man. If you want to play Jeffrey Dahmer for about 15 minutes, that's you. Black Dahmer, white Dahmer, that's you. Me, that's not sex. And to me, if a woman needs all of that, then she's done the wrong things and she's done too many things. So let's get into this domination thing. Shouldn't no female be dominating you? And you should, if you need somebody to do you like that, I'm like, you know what? This is shedding some light on this. Now I see why some of these guys is so hard to work with. And these women. Because they doing this kind of stuff. Think about it. A guy who, like he mentioned, wants somebody to walk on their back with high heels. Let's say your supervisor is like that. Wants somebody to doo-doo on them. That dude is going to give you an outrageous time. He's going to be terrible. And he might even get some type of sexual gratification from it. From giving y'all a hard time. Pause. It's like, as I listen more and more, I see why it is so hard to work with these people. Because look what they doing. Man, these people be doing drugs. They be drunks off the job. And now you got to deal with the 8 hours of them who probably want to drink but know they'll get fired if they have one. And you got to deal with them. You got to work with them. Part of the no matrix lifestyle is dominance. I'm not trying to hear nobody. I went too many years. I remember when I used to dominate, I had everything. I had women, I had money, I had clothes. I got clothes now, but you know, it could stand some upgrades. You could never have enough clothes. Those days, ain't no woman from you don't mean that much. When I dominate you, it benefits you. When you try to dominate me, it's not going to benefit you. In no way. I'm not trying to hear that. I won't even like you. So how am I going to do anything with you? You trying to dominate me? I don't like women who act like that. That's why the dude was like, bring back the 90s. You know why? Y'all want to know why those of y'all that's too young? I'll tell you why. Because in the 90s, women were more feminine and they were more susceptible to be dominated by men. They wasn't selling their cat. What they was doing was they'll get one guy, like it was hoes too, but they'll get one guy, the vast majority of them, and they gonna give them all their sex, all their pleasure. That's how it was in the 90s. And if somebody cheated in the 90s, it was more transparency, so it was harder for them to hide it. Because we didn't have text messages. You had to call somebody and that other person to be over there when you call. You know how many times that happened? On both sides. Me being the one that's over there. And I'd be like, wait a minute. You got a boyfriend? You got a man? You said you ain't had no man. Because I look at it like, why would I deal with her? And I'm finna show you how this works. Why would I deal with somebody that got a boyfriend and all my other women didn't have one? You say they might have. They might have. But look, I'm telling you, it was harder to hide. You had to call people on the payphone. Your pager, like you couldn't delete messages. If I remember right, my memory serves me correct. You couldn't delete messages on pagers. And caller ID, I don't even know. Could you delete caller ID? Like most guys, like when I had chicks that had caller ID, I go right to their caller ID box. Like, who is this? Who is this? And it's like women were less stuck up. They were less superficial. So it was easier for you to replace them. And it's like because they were more of what men liked, everybody was dating and everybody was having a relationship. It wasn't like a lot of people wasn't in the 90s wasn't saying stuff like, man, I ain't dealing with none of these chicks. That's a now thing because they know a lot of these women is over-evaluating themselves. So that's what the dude was talking about when he said, take me back to the 90s. Now, this how you do it now. You dominate them. And the moment you can't dominate them, especially you done mashed on her 4-5 times, what sense do it make? Okay, she don't want to be dominated. She's dismissed. That's why you don't take them to your house right away. And if they try to tear anything up, you mercilessly call the police on them. Let them sit in jail. Because they probably ain't going to have no money to bail themselves out. So they're going to have to go to their family. Then their family going to go on CCAP. I don't know if y'all got it, but we got CCAP in Milwaukee where you could type the name in and it'll tell you like criminal stuff. So when you can't dominate them, you don't deal with them. This is why the past matters. This is why Benzino is a simp, a chump. Nobody should listen to him. He probably was high and drunk. Talking about what a woman did in her past don't matter. Man, you's a goofy. You's goofy. It does matter. If you choose to deal with her or not, it still matters what she did. Did Bow Wow marry Superhead? No, but Bow Wow, he liked something that she do. He still deal with her. Well, he did. But these women be and don't even let them talk all that old stuff, man. Because some of them, the married ones, they only talking because they know the court's gonna have their back most of the time. But sometimes you might have a fair judge that's gonna hear the situation out, and you go in there and be like, look, she been argumentative the whole time I was there. I tried to get past it, tried, for the sake of the kid, try to make it through. But she got to doing things like talking to other guy who knows she cheated or not having sex, that kind of stuff. The judge liable to take your side. Like, why should I give you X amount of dollars and you're the reason why you're even here? So I just want to bring that, just kind of talk about that a little bit. You have to dominate them. And the ones you can't dominate, you shouldn't give them too much time of day. Especially if you already had sex with them. They recreational use only. Leave the park at the park. And speaking of park, that's why it says park. Because when you put your car in park, you're not driving. You're in one place. So a lot of times the marriage and stuff is like putting your car in park. You're not going to be moving. You got to go to D or R. When your car is parked, look, watch this. it's not going to do nothing. It's not going to drive. These women want you to put your life in park for them. No. For what? Well, because you got gray hair and because you're not rich. Does any of that matter? I'm gonna be. And I'm not even there yet, and now I understand. I see why some of the ways rich men move already. I see why they do what they do. Only thing I don't understand is, why are you keeping a wife? If you feel like you got to do all of that, maybe it's me. Maybe it's always me. But listen, man. That little film dumb, having to ask somebody to buy something, man, please. Get out of here with that. I buy what I want to buy. And matter of fact, when your wife do that kind of stuff, start bringing up stuff that she ain't doing right. Be like, why should I do everything you say and you want me to do when you haven't had sex in 2 weeks? Sometimes you can't go without, man, these women will dominate you if you refusing to ever argue with them. Sometimes you have to. And they gonna say stuff like, you acting like a female. You acting like, okay, so you trying to say it's manly for me to give you your way? It's not. It's manly for me to get my way. And down the line, you get your way because I done got my way X amount of time. That's what's manly. These dudes walking around here following them all in the back, and women walking in the front like man, get out of here. And I'm not saying I would do it. Don't take that the wrong way. They walking all in the front, he behind her like a little kid. Look, women who try to dominate you, that you can't dominate, you might not be able to dominate them, but you can do this to them.